Thanks for joining me for Unique Truth with Sharjay. So I had a guest scheduled, but he had a family emergency and he couldn't make it. So what we're going to talk about, well, first off, he had a death in the family, and I still want to give him a shout out. It's his name is James Jones, and he owns the Goat Fitness, and I believe it's in Redford. So if you get a chance, check him out. We will have him on the show at another time. So what we're going to do is, I got Jewel T in here with me, and we're just going to talk about a hodgepodge of different things. I was going to talk about weight loss and diet and exercise with James, and we're still going to talk about that a little bit. But what we're doing is, it's still on our series of getting ourselves together for the new year and our New Year's resolutions, because I know some of y'all done fell off by the wayside with them resolutions. So first off, welcome, Jewel. Thanks for joining me at such a short notice. No, I appreciate you. Jewel said she could tell us about any diet that there is, any weight loss plan that's out there. So yep. What you got, yep. Jewel? So and that's something I think most people want a pill that's going where they can eat what they want to eat, lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks, don't have to do no exercise, and it's really not.
Well, I tell you what, it exists, but it doesn't last. That's the thing. Like you can take a pill and you can do something where you can lose weight. When I was on one plan where I had lost 17 pounds I had lost 17 pounds in 10 days, but it wasn't really sustainable.
So, what was that like? Water weight loss, or?
I think it was the plant, I shouldn't say the name of it, but it was fruits and vegetables and milk. Nothing but fruits and vegetables and milk. You didn't eat anything until noon. And then there was no exercise. And so I think if you don't eat, and there's no meat, so if you only eat fruits and vegetables and milk, and you don't eat meat, then you can't help but lose a lot of inflammation, because most of it, we carry a lot of inflammation in our bodies and stuff. So I'm assuming that it was inflammation and water weight.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds harsh. Fruits, vegetables, and milk.
And then you got they put these little balls behind your ears that were supposed to stimulate your hypothalamus, and so you had to rotate them in certain. I swear to this day, I think it messed up my thyroid, but you had to rotate them around like certain intervals throughout the day.
Okay. People are taking, once a celebrity does something like, I think people at first were, they taking the grapefruit diet. You just eat the grapefruit, or the cabbage diet. You just eat the cabbage soup. But then now people are taking Ozempic and Mounjaro and Wegovy, and now they got one that's called Roll, and it's specifically for weight loss. But people are taking the medication that is meant for people to control their diabetes, and they're using it for weight loss, to where the people who have diabetes, a couple of my friends, they can't even find their medicine because it's gone for the weight loss. So if it's something you want to talk about, give your opinion on, 313-355-6018. We would love to hear from you. So if you using the stuff because a celebrity is using it. And this is my thing. You don't know how that's going to affect your body, because it's somebody's medicine that has diabetes. They can't get their medicine because you're taking it to lose weight, as opposed to eating right and exercising.
That's no fun. That's not fun. I don't want to eat right, exercise. I just want to look good.
Just want to look good.
I just want to look good.
And don't care how you attain that.
That's most people, yeah.
You know, I don't understand. I guess I've heard people call it the microwave society. We want it fast, we want it quick, we want it now. Give it to me now, fast, quick. I want to lose weight. Next week, I want to be 25 pounds lighter.
Exactly. I'll take that.
But I'ma still be eating fried chicken and hamburgers and French fries.
Oh my gosh, I wish.
Cake and pie.
I can't remember the last time I had fried chicken. No, I take that back. My sons had fried chicken for the first time about a month ago, because the whole time, like, I've been dieting my whole time. When I had my kids, I was always on a diet, so they never like really had the typical junk food that kids get. So like Kentucky Fried Chicken, They had some McDonald's, but like some of the major stuff, they had never had White Castle. Like none of it.
Well, when they got grown, my kids. So your kids are younger than mine. My kids are in their 40s, and so they can do what they want to do.
Right.
But coming up, I remember my daughter. I never cooked. I always cook from scratch. I still do to this day. So my daughter had never had a TV dinner, and she was she was about 7 or 8. And she was over to my mother's house, and they remember banquet TV dinners used to be the best back in the day.
And lean cuisine.
No, not those. The banquet. No, remember banquet back in the day? It had the real mashed potatoes and the corn. Okay. And my daughter came home, and she was like, "I want some of that food that's in the aluminum foil." And I didn't know what she was.
That didn't make you mad.
I didn't know what she was talking about. I had to. She's like, "Grandma made it. It was in aluminum foil." And I had to think about it. I was like, "Did y'all give my kids some TV dinners?" And they was like, "Yeah." I was like, "We didn't even know." I had never served them that day. Didn't know what that was.
But did that hurt your feelings though? That they liked the banquet dinner instead of the food that you prepared for them?
I don't think so. I don't think so much. It was that. I think it was more so because it was something quick and easy. Because my daughter to this day, you know, I made dessert every night and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Even if it was just like a Jell-O parfait, I made dessert every night and cooked every night. And
that's awesome.
And my daughter, she's to this day, she has to have dessert. So, you know, most people are like, "Oh, I don't got no room." No, she's going to eat her dessert to this day. So if she goes out, because she's used to having dessert after dinner. And it wasn't hard. Now, I try not to eat processed, and I think that's the main thing. Lean cuisine, it's not lean. Healthy choice, it's not healthy.
Right.
It's full of sodium. If you ever eaten,
it's marketing at its finest.
If you ever think about it, you're like, why aren't I losing weight? I'm only eating lean cuisines, and because they're full of sodium. They have like at least 900 milligrams of sodium, because they have to put sodium in to preserve it. Yep. And so that's just truly a whole lot of sodium, and that's what's keeping you unhealthy.
At least the water.
Yeah. So it's they're not that healthy. I do eat them sometimes, but I had said a couple weeks back, why do the ones that don't have meat, because I don't eat meat, why do the ones that don't have meat cost just as much as the ones that do? Because
it's harder to make vegetables taste good. I have a steak over vegetables in that week.
So if I'm getting the one with just some pasta and some sauce, it should be at least 50 cents cheaper. There's no meat in it. There's no meat. So I should get a break on that. But those cost just as much, because I was looking and I'm like, why is the beef one the same price as the sauce one? I don't know. I may call them and ask them, because it's been weighing heavy on my mind.
Right.
As a non-meat eater. And it was not hard, because people ask me, was it hard to give up meat? It was not hard.
Oh, I didn't know you were vegetarian. Is that one of those Tarians?
Pescatarian. I eat fish and seafood. So no meat. And then even that is hard, because I try not to fry it. Well, maybe once a month I'll fry some fish. But I try to find, salmon is the one. And I try to find recipes that to make the salmon dip, because you just bake it. Everybody just bakes some salmon, you know. So I found a couple of recipes where you're actually frying it and taking a different texture. And that's what I miss sometimes, like a piece of steak or something. I really wasn't a big beef eater, but sometimes a turkey burger or stuff like that. And I don't have sandwiches, so when I find something that I can have a sandwich with, it's different, because you have to eat different. Now, if I come to your house in the summertime and you've got some ribs, which used to be my favorite, I'm going to take a bone home. I have to take it home and eat it, just in case it makes me sick. But the flavor, I love the flavor. So that's the thing. I'm going to take it home and eat it. So I thought you didn't eat meat. I'm going to eat this one. And now this past summer, I didn't have any. Summer before last, I had some twice. So, you know, it just depends on, you know, what and I don't, if you cook a corned beef, I'm not going to cook a whole one to just did a little piece like that. So I will taste a little bit just to get the flavor, and then that's it. I just want to taste it. So, you know. But I, too, have been on a lot of weight loss journeys, and I do pretty good. In the summertime, I like to do water aerobics, but I didn't this past summer because the one main thing is that chlorine eats out my hair. So I have to get something done to my hair, and you know, so it's a process.
Right.
You know, but my main thing that I say, diet and exercise will keep that thing hard and that kitty wet, y'all.
Okay.
So that's what y'all need. Y'all know that's my favorite saying. My son said the other day, I don't really like hearing my mama say stuff like that, but you know, I guess it's true, Mom.
Yeah, your kids don't want to. They don't think that you do any of that stuff.
Yeah,
You don't even have a vagina. They don't know how they got here. They just don't even want to hear about it.
I remember the first time I was with you on your show, and when we came out of the studio, your sons was looking at me like you know how you tell your kids, I don't want you with that boy. Your sons was looking like, Mom, we don't want you with that lady no more.
They were looking at me like that. My youngest is the more snooty one. Like if I say something, he'll give me the look, like the eyebrow, like, and the mom, I can't believe you said that. My oldest is a little more carefree, but my youngest would be like, oh, I can't.
Yeah, they don't want you hanging out with me. Okay, no more. You're watching the Unique Truth Show on WJZZ Cool TV, live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV because it is the coolest station in the world. Okay, so we talked about diet and exercise. We're going to get into a few things because we can.
Yes.
We were talking earlier about relationships and past marriages. And one thing that came to my mind is, whose job is it to bring the sexy into the bedroom? Or what if you want to try something and he don't want to try it? Is that a problem? Do you let it go? You know, if my man came in there and told me, hey, look, I want to try so and so and so. First off, he gonna have to tell me, who told you that? Where you get that from? You're gonna have to explain, because you just don't pop up, you know. Now, if he say, well, my boys was talking about it and it sound kind of interesting, I might fall for it. And if it's not too bad, we could give it a whirl. But whose job is it to keep it spicy? Is it the woman's? Is it her job?
I think it's, well, okay, so my first answer was, I think it's both. Because, I mean, there's a dynamic. It has to be kind of, to me, like a dance. It's like you're both excited about it, but it also depends, I think, what stage you are in life. Because I know when I was married with children, just getting, I don't think we had a date for a long time, but just getting time to be together is kind of a challenge. So you're not even thinking about the sexy, right? So somebody has to consciously think about the sexy. So now that I'm thinking about, I think whoever has the less stress, we should both think about it, but the one who has the less stress should bear the burden. I don't think it's like a male or a female. I think it's just, you have to work together on that. Now, yeah.
I think people need to, like I said, what if the other person don't want to try it? I think you need to take that person's wants and needs into consideration. I mean, if he's not talking about jumping off the building and trying to land on his penis or nothing, then, you know,
That's a hurt.
you know, I think you should probably give it some consideration. Now, I have friends, for some reason, because I wrote the books, and it's a lot of sex in the books, of course, people come to me with issues. We want to try this, or I tried this and it didn't work. What do I do? Now, because I did so much research for the books, I usually have the answer. One friend said they tried anal sex and it was very, very painful. And I was like, well, did you do this? And they were like, well, no. Well, did you do that? Oh, no, we don't know.
Right.
So you can't just, some stuff you can't just jump into. You have to do some research. Right?
I mean, yeah. I think a lot of it too comes into, like, I think what happens is people have judgments. Like, a lot of people have a lot of perceptions and concepts about stuff that they develop through religion and family and parents and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
And so they bring all of that stuff into
their
the bedroom,
baggage,
when really it should just be between the couple. What do they want to experience together? to try, not all these other things, but it's hard to detach. And so because people have a lot of emotion, they have a lot of guilt, they have a lot of shame.
Mm-hmm. We shouldn't do that. Right.
It just messes things up. I'm like, you should just get rid of the guilt and the shame and have fun with the body. You only get the, I mean, you only get to run. Oh, I don't know. Like you only get running through this body once. You might come back, but this body is here for today.
Yeah, because like I said, I know a lot of people. If you all together, there should be nothing that you and your partner shouldn't be able to talk about. If you can do it, you should talk about it. It's like I've known people get up and like, we don't talk about sex, but do you have sex? Well, yeah. Well, how are you not talking about something you do? That doesn't make any sense to me. But people do it. So if you can do it, you can talk about it. And if this is your person, y'all together, been together for 15, 20 years, you should be able to talk about anything. You should. I'm just saying. And you know, if you can't, then maybe you ought to start. That's, you know, I've heard people say, we don't talk about stuff like that. That doesn't
Why
make.
not? I mean, why would you not? I think we need to talk about a lot of things that we don't talk about.
Right.
Like even, I mean, it's like why would sex be something that you wouldn't talk about? It's a completely natural function. It's like eating and all the other things you do.
Nobody would be here if it wasn't for the sex.
Right.
I'm just saying.
So I don't. Yeah. I
So,
don't get it.
So if you want to try something, you should be able to talk anything that's going on. I always mention my friend Bobby. Bobby had a problem with the fact that his wife would not wear lingerie for him. Wasn't about the sex. It was about he liked to see his wife in lingerie. Before they got married, he was like, if I would buy her some lingerie, she'd be putting it on in the car. He's like, I almost tore up my car watching her. He said, oh baby, oh baby. So, and then they got married, had some kids and blah, blah, blah. And he said he was fine. The kids is here, you know, but the kids are gone now. It's just him and her back at the house. So this was the problem. She wasn't wearing the lingerie because that was something he wanted, because he wasn't giving her the type of sex that she wanted. She wanted oral sex, but he wasn't giving her the oral sex because he wasn't turned on because she wasn't wearing the lingerie. And not, he just liked to watch her cook dinner in lingerie. That's just his thing.
So that seems like a conversation.
Well,
so I didn't want to talk about
he came to me and we talked about it. And my show that I used to do at home on Facebook Live, they came and they offered suggestions, and he played the show for her, and she was like, well, I ain't know, and this is what, and I don't even really hear from Bobby that much anymore.
Bobby busy watching her cook with the lingerie on.
And I mean, I always mention, because he doesn't care that I use his name. I haven't talked to Bobby in like a month and a half. Usually he texts or something. I haven't gotten a text.
Oh my goodness.
A phone call. He don't, like, you know, he'll check in. Hey girl, what's up? What you doing? You blah 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 blah. He'll watch the show a couple of days later. Oh, you talked about me. But right. So, you know, and that's fine, but they didn't communicate that fact that their issue was so simple. He was like, he would have gave her any kind of sex she wanted. All he wanted to do was see her in the lingerie. So apparently they're good now, because I haven't heard from him. Okay. So, but this is something you should want to talk about. Now, I wasn't always like this. I feel now I could talk about anything with anybody, and, you know, it's conversation. I may not want to tell you, but okay. I'll tell you, because we ain't going to get no understanding if we don't talk about it. But when I was younger, like you say, I did not talk about it. I had a marriage and a long-term relationship, and I feel my marriage, I don't know if communication would have helped, but in my long-term relationship, I feel more open communication would have made our relationship a little bit better. It was a good relationship, but it could have been better, you know. And if I get the chance again to be in a relationship, we will talk about everything, and he would probably be like, please shut up, because
I can't believe you're talking about that.
Right. But that's how you get understanding, is with conversation and communication. So, but yeah, I would, like you said, you didn't think you wanted to be married again. I do want to be married. I function better in a relationship. I mean, I'm doing great by myself, and I'm okay with by myself. But I think it would be better for me in a relationship. I've always wanted to be married. Ever since I was younger, I wanted to be married. So,
I mean, I would be married, but it has to be the right circumstance.
Oh, sure.
Like, it's not. I think at this age, it's not worth it to me to be in a relationship
with
that
just
is
anybody.
troublesome. Like, no, I want my peace. I want, I want an understanding. I don't want to be bothered with a whole lot of things that I've seen so far out here. So I'm just kind of comfortable.
And I think some people just settle, and I'm not willing to settle. That movie, I Can Do Bad by Myself.
Right.
I'm not doing bad, so if you can't make it better,
exactly.
I want somebody to make it better.
And I noticed, I don't know, maybe Shar, you can help me if this is really true, but I noticed I did, when I first was divorced, I had conversations with men, and I just noticed that a lot of the men, a lot of them had, like, they were a lot of drinkers, like they drank a lot, and then some were like really controlling. So I don't know if that's like, is that what you generally are seeing as well? But like a lot of alcohol and a lot of kind of, jealousness. Like one guy was like, oh yeah, whenever I'm in a relationship, I buy a house. And at first I was like, oh cool, he can buy a house. And I was like, wait a minute, that mean I have to be there all the time? And then he was like, oh yeah, I don't. And then that same person said something really inappropriate to me, and we hadn't even been on a date yet. So I was like, okay, we not going there with you. But I mean, like, have you noticed that there is a lot of that, or what is your experience been?
Well, first off, I haven't really noticed that, but my thing is this: I'm a free spirit, so you already know when you meet me that when you ain't finna hold me right here, because I will leave out the house. When Kmart was open, it was a Kmart on every corner. Mm-hmm. Then it became Target for me, but I don't talk to them no more either. But it was bad. Okay. If I find something at one Kmart and I want to go to another Kmart, I'm on a Kmart run for the rest of the day.
Right.
So you can't be like, well, where were you? I went to Kmart. Do not talk. And the guy I was with, he understood, oh, she went to Kmart. Mm-hmm. Well, she was gone for 6 hours. Well, it's 6 Kmarts she went to. Because that's just how I am. So you already know when you meet me that we're not finna do that.
Well, I thought I was free spirit, but that didn't stop him.
Yeah, I can't talk to you. We're not gonna do that. Right. I will never be in another controlling relationship ever. For the rest of my life, I can't take it.
It's too much.
I think astrological signs play a role in that.
Okay.
And I'm a fire sign, and I was with a water sign, and I think that water was trying to put that fire out.
Oh.
And and the fire wasn't going for it. Fire gonna burn, Mm-hmm. So I know it's a cliche to say that, but. Horoscope, but it does play a part.
No, there's a lot. I mean, horoscope is one piece of the whole spiritual landscape, and there's truth in all of it.
Yeah, it does play a part, and if we don't mesh together, I will never, ever, ever be in a relationship like that.
It's too short.
It is, and I just can't do it. And you have to continue to move with me. And not against me.
Right.
And when you start going against me, I don't want to be bothered. I can't take jealousy. I can't take controlling. We don't got to argue. If I never have another argument for the rest of my life, I'm good. Because I have had some arguments over some stupid shit. Okay?
Right. No, I know what you mean.
So, no, we will never do that again. You're not going to tell me I can't go nowhere. We ain't doing that. I was older than the person in this relationship by 3 months, but you can't tell me what to do. I'm older than you. Not that should, but
Right, I know. We all grown.
Right, I'm older than you. You're not gonna tell me what to do. But so we were talking about 3-person relationships as well. So that's something that you said you saw the value in a 3-person relationship. Not that it was for you, but you said you could see where you
for me. I still got a kid at home, so not yet.
But you said you saw where that could have some benefits.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, because if I'm with somebody, I don't know if I want to be.
Sharing?
Yeah.
Be sharing?
Yeah.
Hey. To me, I don't know. I think.
Well, I guess if it's open, you open, because some people share and they don't know.
Everybody's cool. I mean, to me, it's like, would you rather would you rather knowingly share or
Not
be in a
knowingly
relationship and not know what's up? To me, I'd be like, oh, okay, if we all can share together and it's a closed circle, then to me that would be optimal. It's like you wouldn't have to worry about somebody being out there bringing something back that you
Y'all
don't
all
have.
together.
Right.
You're watching the Unique Truth Show with Sharjay on Wjzz Cool TV, live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV. It's the coolest station in the world. Now, I don't know. I get what you're saying. Is open. I saw on House Hunters, and it was a 3-person couple, and they were buying a house, and they were using all 3 incomes, and they all had children, and I don't know the dynamics of who slept with who or what did with what, because some they don't interact like that, like the person, because there are some female male male and some male female female,
right.
3 throuples. That's what it's called, throuple.
Okay.
There are some of those as well, but some of them are not. She just sleeps with him and him separate, or some of them all sleep together and interact together. They have sex with, and some of them don't.
Okay.
And usually, because nowadays you don't know. Usually the male female, they don't sleep. The 2 men don't sleep together.
Yeah.
Usually. Yeah, they don't do that. But the women and some of they sleep together. And it was some of the men that slept together. But because I did research on it, I did a show on it before, and I don't know if I don't know if I could be. I know I couldn't be in 2 women in him, but me and 2 guys. I'd be more open to that,
right?
And he not sleeping with him, and it's just both. Today
it can get complicated, but
right.
At the end of the day, I think it's whatever everyone agrees to, right?
Right.
So I think I shouldn't say this out loud. My son's watching, but I think that we have to just decide what we enjoy in life, and then have that. Like life is too short to make complicated. And so instead of carrying all those beliefs that make life really, boring and hard, we just have a life that we can enjoy. And just, I just don't think it's good that we judge each other, because beyond just the physical relationship, there's a spiritual being that is everyone, right? And so the shame and the guilt and that goes along with all of the beliefs that we hold around sex are the things that will hold us back from being able to progress as beings. And so that I think that's where my openness came through the journey, the spiritual journey, where I said, wait a minute, if we could just get rid of this stuff right here, then we can progress. But the sexual hangups are so deep that if you don't deal with those, you'll never be able to progress.
Like
in anything,
areas. Right? Like with my grandkids, the ones that are old enough, I talk to them openly and honestly about whatever they say. I don't have a filter, and it's not that. I tell them life doesn't have a filter, and if you don't get it at home, and I don't know if my son is open with his kids, and I don't know what their mom does with them, but. If they got a question and they want to know, they know that they can come to me, and they also know that I'm not going to tell their daddy about what we talked about. I mean, they can't come in there and tell me, Grandma, I stabbed 5 people. No, I'm telling. But
exactly.
But little stuff, they talk to me and we crack jokes. And there was a lady on social media, she was saying that she got grandkids, 5. She said she had 5 and they were like the same ages as mine. She's like, they don't call me. I have to call them, and, blah, blah, blah. It's like, honey, that's just how they are.
Oh, mama.
That's how they are. When they are called, if they talk, sometimes they call, sometimes they don't. I was like, when they're with me, I'm their best friend. We have the best of times. But if they don't, you not their friend, you their grandma. Right. They might really like you, grandma, but they not finna. But when we are together, we laugh, joke, have a good time. We talk about each other. This this what we do. Grandma,
that's important. That's so important, Shai, especially now. Because back in the old days, maybe it was really more simple. There was like boys and girls, and now there's like boys and girls and girls and girl boys and everything in between. To have a credible source to go to talk about that type of stuff is really valuable.
My grandson got ready to go to college, the oldest one. I was buying him condoms. And so you should have heard me and my best friend talking. She was on the phone with me while I was picking them out. And she was like, well, don't get him those. Get him something that's fun. I'm like...
You don't want them having too much fun.
Right. Just don't get them those plain ones. Get them some. So I asked him, what kind do you want? Magnum, Trojan, ribbed for her protection, for her pleasure. What kind do you want? Because grandma will buy them. Do not come here with no grandkid. I'm too young and too cute to be a great grandmother. Let's not do that yet. So let's not do that right now. Let's hold on. So I told him the holiday. He's 23. Don't have no baby for at least 5 years, because you got to live and do stuff for yourself first. And I think a lot of people have kids. A lot of women in their 30s, like 35, they got pregnant, had a baby when they were 16. So they've had babies for half of their life. They have been somebody's mother. And they never got to live and experience. So now they're in their 30s. They want to live and experience and come and go as they please. Well, you're leaving that 16-year-old at home alone to do exactly what you did. Get pregnant and have a baby. And then the cycle continues. So we have to stop and raise our kids first before you go out and have fun. I finished college. Me and my daughter was in college together, not the same college, but and I told somebody the other day, I got so much financial aid by us both being in the college together. I was like, I should have did this a long time.
Maybe I need to go to college.
We was in college together. This was years ago. But they gave me so much money, and they gave her so much money because we were both in college. I don't know what the second reason was for me getting so much money, but that grants and financial aid, I got a lot of money for college. Ooh. So go to school. When your kids go to school, you go back too and get you some degrees and stuff and make a better life for you and your babies. Okay. Here. So I said, y'all, we was gonna be talking about some of everything, and we have. We've talked about diet. Whose job is it to bring the sexy, kids, marriage. We talked about some of everything. And what you want to talk about now?
Well, let me see. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about what you think about the relationship between the kids that are coming up now and the kids that are going to be here, like, say, in 10 years. So, like, all these different gender and different types of people, beings, are eventually going to be adults, and they're going to have kids. What do you think the impact is going to be on that next generation?
Oh, that's a good one. So, first off, I think it's going to be a lot of unity because these kids. I saw something on social media where the father was asking the little boy. It was a Caucasian little boy. It was a picture of a little white boy and a little black boy in a field, and they were standing there. They had smiles on their face, and he was like, "What do he see?" He was like, "I see two friends in the field," and he was like, "What else you see?" He said, "Look like they're happy," So he was like to ask them questions. He never said anything about that's a white boy and that's a black boy. He just kept saying, look like they friends, look like they just had some fun, like they on their way to have some fun. That's all he kept saying. And I think the world is going to be like that. My theory is, and I don't think that I will be alive to see it, but I think within the next 100 years, we will come down to just having one race, and there will be peace because nobody seems like they care that the next person, these kids, they don't care that their best friend is Caucasian or Chaldean. My granddaughter, they lived in Dearborn Heights, and all of her friends were, the neighbors were Chaldean, and she didn't care. That was her best friend. So I think it's going to be more unity, more peace with these children. Now, these kids are not how we were. They are not. Somebody said, I saw this, it said, this generation is stop crying and I'll buy you something. Our generation was stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about.
Exactly.
And we are tougher. These kids are not tough. I'm sorry, they not. I heard a guy on TV say, I'm raising soft people. It's like, and that's just and maybe the world will be softer and maybe that's what it takes. I don't know. Right now the world is harsh. But it will probably take a softer, kinder person to make a softer, kinder world, and that may be what it takes. Because first off, I hope that these kids that we stop babies having babies. That's a pet peeve of mine. Babies having babies. If we stop that, And like you say, people don't want to speak to sex, but you have to. You have to. I got a friend who told me she didn't know, she was 19. She didn't know, her mama said don't get pregnant. She didn't know that having sex was how she got pregnant. And she was like, I was having sex every day.
Yeah, she just told me not to get pregnant.
Not to get, she's like, she didn't know that.
Right.
So that was her mother's advice.
Right.
Don't get pregnant. But she didn't tell her
that this is how you. Wow.
that this is how you get pregnant.
About that.
So she was like, and guess what? I was pregnant. So, so because she didn't know, it's like I was having sex. So if you don't give the children the information, I'm not saying that this is no. It like I tell my grandson, wear a condom. I don't care, and I tell him I don't care what she says. I'm on birth control. I don't care what she says. Wear a condom and bring your own. Mm-hmm. You know, don't. And I'm sorry that you have to tell them like that.
So, what do you think is the root of the pregnancy issue? So, do you think that it is related to their self-esteem somehow? Because I can remember, like in my mother's generation, the women really thought that if you weren't having sex with a man, you weren't a woman. And like nowadays, it seems like there's a lot of like sexualization of women and girls, which is nothing wrong with being sexy and feminine. Like I'm a proponent of that, but I almost feel like it's not sexy and feminine like in the old school way. It's kind of like sexy, like I've got to be sexy almost in a commodity way because I want to have a man, and there's not as many men out there, and so now I have to be even more of that way just to have someone.
So, you know, back in the day, you know what a woman was a woman. You know, remember those old? It's a joke about that. Talking about why y'all trying to buy all these lingerie. Remember them old house dresses that snap up that the women?
Yeah.
But she had 8 kids, so.
Good point.
So, you know, she wasn't showing her stuff she had on that house coat.
Right.
You couldn't see nothing through that.
She probably was trying to cover everything up because leave her alone. Like, leave me alone.
Please, how you got 8 kids wearing that?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say this. My friend, I was thinking about this the other day. My friend, you know, when we grew up, you come over our house, we come over your house. Your mama didn't care. You know, she got on her robe and she cooking. My friend's mama, she used to, they had like, I think she had about eight kids over there. Wow. But when she would come home from work, you know those old slips that look like a gown? Mm-hmm. She would wear her slip. And I just thought that was just so ladylike. You know, she was cooking dinner, but she was wearing her slip. Yeah. And I have a bunch of those. I don't know why. I just thought, you know, we're just in and out. Not that you paid it any attention. It was just their mama cooking dinner. She was, you know, walking through the house. She'd come over. She'd leave her to have her slip on. And it looked like a full nightgown, but I just thought that was just so feminine. Right. And nowadays, I don't even think people wear slips. Or it took. I needed a slip. I had to order the slip from online. I went to every store. They did not have any slips, and I don't understand. The lady was like, "I think you can find them online," and it's like, why are y'all not wearing slips? What?
They don't know. I mean, do you think it's because there's like a generation of mothers who are partying with their daughters, kind of so it's kind of like I feel like we're missing the grandmas. I feel like we don't have grandmas anymore. Like I remember my grandma being like distinct. Mm-hmm. You know, like you knew you were going to go to grandma's house. If I stopped at grandma's house, I was going to get, you know, some chicken and gravy or something like that.
Some pound cake at my grandma's house.
But there's no grandmas because the grandmas were dating with the daughters and the granddaughters. Like, do you feel that? Like the grandmas are missing?
I do. Well, the grandma is only 45 now.
Right.
So, there are no, I mean, a 70.
So where would they learn? Like, how would they learn? Like, I feel like women don't, and not that I'm like, you know, a expert, but I feel like that whole art of just being feminine and being a woman and being
keeping something concealed, or you can be sexy without your tits hanging out.
I don't think they have to hang out, but there's nothing wrong with showing.
Oh yeah, I show some cleavage.
I mean, but I'm just saying, like the whole part about it being okay to just be happy being feminine.
Right.
Like, there's like this whole. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of women who are just, you know, they're like, I don't need a man and all this kind of stuff.
We're gonna talk about that next.
Okay.
Because is it because? First off, let's finish that. I do think that the grandma is missing. Okay. Mm-hmm. And maybe, because the people say, oh, now that grandma gone, the family fell apart. And I do believe that that's part of the thing that she fell apart. You don't have them Sunday dinners
I remember that.
stuff like that. You can always come in and get something to eat. When my grandkids stop by, it's a little thing. My granddaughter will call, what did grandma fix you? She fixed you something to eat, didn't she? And so I told my grandson Anthony, I say, what do you want? He said, do you have some chicken nuggets? He's like, do you have some sauce? I was like, this is not a restaurant, but I have honey mustard, ranch, and barbecue.
Right, well, that sounds like a restaurant. That sounds like a restaurant. I'm coming to your house.
He said, well, Erica thinks this is a restaurant because this is how it's supposed to be. That you come to my house, I'm supposed to feed you.
Right.
You're supposed to go home with some cookies in your pocket. Right, stuff like that. So yeah, that is the thing. Now, I think, oh God, we are men. We're not saying you don't. I have never said I don't need no man. Yes, I do. I need one. I want one.
A man, though.
A man, not right. We were talking, and it says, if the man said, "Hey, sweetie, you have to go out there and shovel the snow. I hurt my back, and I can at least start get dinner going." I was like, no, I don't want to shovel the snow, but I shovel it now. But I will, because now I shovel the snow and still got to cook. At least he cooked the food. We splitting the thing. Do I think that there are gender roles? To a certain degree. I'm not going to go out here and fix the car. I'm not going to do it. I don't know nothing about it. I know a little bit. I can put air in my tire.
Some women can fix the car.
Right, some women can. And that's fine because she's comfortable with that. But if I have to do everything, what do I need you for? And I think some of us think I make my own money. I can do this. I can fix.
But don't you just and having said that, I feel like I'm comfortable not having anyone until I die. Like that's the standard. If I don't meet
what
the
about
man,
sex though?
man,
what you gonna do for the
there's
sex?
plenty of people for sex.
Oh, okay. You just thought.
But I'm talking about a relationship where you together every day, you sleep in my bed and all that kind of stuff, like that type of thing. We do things, that type of thing. There's a certain standard of people I want in my life. But I still love men. Like I just like the strength of having someone there that's strong and determined and has their mindset and knows how to handle me, so to speak. So I prefer that. But I feel like there's a lot of women who don't, I guess, prescribe to that a little bit. So I don't know. What do you think? Is it nice just to have a man that's really a man? And are they even, like, how often do you really meet one that's real? Like real, like not sending you cry emojis and tears things and wine glasses in your text message.
Let me just say, you're watching Wjzz Cool TV live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV. It is the coolest station in the world. Yeah, a real man. If you're not going to bring any value to my household,
I want you to teach me something. I want you to be there. I want you to. I mean, I'm big about like teaching me something. I want
to have intelligent conversation.
Right.
Like I want to be able to come to you and be like, "Hey, what do you think about?" And you have an opinion.
Right.
And
some knowledge, like some life skills and some knowledge behind it to help support.
Right. So, or somebody like talking about current events, like, did you hear on it? And they'd be like, yeah, I heard that, and I was wondering what you, and he values my opinion. Yes, he'd be like, I was wondering what you thought about that.
Right.
Yes, that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. I don't just want anybody.
Right.
You can't even have a intelligent conversation. I ask you, I want to be able to talk to you about everything. You come to me and you say, hey, did you see that stock that they were talking about on the news? Yeah, I already looked it up and blah blah blah. Something
that's dynamic.
Yes, I want to be able to come to you and ask you anything, and you have some sort of inkling as to what I'm talking about. You may not have the full spectrum of the situation, or you can come to me or if I say that, you say, no, I didn't really understand what they was talking about. What was it? And I can tell you. So
there's like an intellectual part. Like there's a curiosity or something that they have that that they're curious about life and not just kind of existing.
That is true.
Do you think men feel the same way about women, or are they just about the body and the sex?
Some of them like a smart woman, and I wonder about that. Like men have types. And she could, if she's his type, tall, slender, light skin, whatever, if she's his type, I think he will let go of what else he may need. He may need her to cook, clean, but she don't do that. But she look like he want her to look.
Oh, so they're more visual.
Yes, and I think that they will forego necessity over appearance. Oh, she looks like I want her to look. She's got a nice round behind and boobs out to here, but she dumb as bricks. Okay, so the conversation ain't there, but she looked like I want her to look, and that's what I need. That's what gets me stimulated.
Because to them, the woman is more like a trophy. Do you think?
It's what it's like you said, visual. She has to look like that. I've known some that marry women that aren't what they like to look at because she fits the mental part of what he needs. Takes care of his home, takes care of his kid, but she don't stimulate him physically.
Do you think he cheats on her?
Oh, of course. I know he does.
I was expecting you to think about that for a minute, child. Because Tango,
no,
I don't know. I think maybe.
No, I know he does. I know them, and this is what they do. And then people want to say, well, when will a man stop cheating? A man will stop cheating when a man gets ready to stop cheating. Other than that, there's nothing you can do.
I think oh my gosh. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like that, and I think we're going to talk about this at some point in the future, that if you look at, like, African tribes, like, way back way, and if you have a male figurehead, even if they have multiple wives, if they already understand that's the nature of their relationship and they have them, then it supports the family, because then the women have sisters. The women have sisters to hang out with. The kids play together. I mean, it's like a different dynamic. And I think overall, like over long term, that the family is stronger in that way. Is that possible? Am I just crazy? What do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't honestly get behind the extra person in the relationship. I just can't. I understand what you're saying. As far as I could see where if he didn't want to have everybody's at the house and I know he's in there with her.
And it's, you can get it checked out.
I know he's in there with her and not out in the street. But what if he don't want to be with now one of y'all and he out there in the streets doing it?
That's a third person.
That's a third person.
As long like he have as many as he can afford. That was the big thing in the African tribes. It's like it was usually the richer men that had multiples. I don't know.
I
I think it's worth a
don't
conversation.
know if
Maybe that's for the next show.
the next show. I appreciate you coming in here joining me. I
No
know it
problem.
was last minute. I think we had a good time.
We did.
You know, I appreciate y'all for joining me. I always do. You know, I do this for y'all. Don't forget, we do the food pantry, 600 East Warren at the Plymouth United Church. That's Reverend Hood's church. Get there at 11 a.m. on Sundays, each and every Sunday, rain, shine, snow, whatever. That's where we're there. We pass out the food. If you've got community notes you want me to pass along, please reach out. And if you want to be a guest on my show or sponsor, please reach out on my Unique Truth Facebook page. I appreciate y'all for being here. Bye.